So we'll see what happens here. It's going to be epic.
I'm actually taking my responsibilities as FIA seriously. It's up. All right.
It's up.
All right.
Now, where the fuck is... There he is.
All right, guys. Sorry about the confusion. I forgot that Bash hadn't been here for a while. Have a good stream. Bash hadn't been here for a while. Have a Adam, looking forward to next week, bud.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Good night.
Okay. And then I got 18 drivers in this lobby, so I don't know if you're friends with any of them. We got it. We are good to go. Ghosting off.
Adam, you need to turn off ghosting.
Ghosting needs to be off.
Got it.
All right.
You've got it, okay.
Dynamic weather, everything else is fine. Safety car is qualifying. Performance to resistance. Everything looks good to me. Hey, do you guys have formation lap on?
Yes.
Okay.
You have the formation left.
Yes. Are we a go? Are we good? All right. All right. Well, welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 6 of the Apollo Racing Club F1 2020 Tier 1 season. I'm Adam EV500, and joining me is Bash Dash. And Bash Dash, we are in for a great race here as we are getting underway with the 6th season here at Apollo Racing Club. Yes, man. He was tier 2 last season, if I remember right. Or no, he was tier 1, but had conflicts, I think, or something like that. I couldn't remember because I casted the last race of season 2, and that was a fantastic finish to their season. Okay. But it'll be very interesting to see what he can put up. And it's a very cloudy day here in Australia. So that'll definitely make an impact on these tires early in qualifying. And what are you expecting here as we get set for this first qualifying session? Looking over at Refrax in the McLaren, him and Chipsy. Refrax was the tier 3, which is now tier 2 champion last year, was absolutely dominant, was fun to race with against him. So it'll be very interesting to see what he can do in this first season in the top tier. And we're already seeing some cars out. The Red Bulls are out. Line of Singapore is going to be out first here. And this will be very interesting to see. And Gore now. So, and everybody taking the soft tire. So, what we're thinking here for pit strategy is probably some drivers doing a two stopper, potentially doing a soft, medium, soft. Line just and somebody has said in the chat that they cannot hear other caster or game sounds, just so you know. Check, hello. Game sounds back. Get my things set real quick. For some reason I wasn't able to see the map at all. Looks like there's some slower cars in sector 3, but Lion of Singapore putting on a nice lap here on those soft tires as he's approaching the sector 3, going through the S-curve. You got to be very careful here. You can get a lot of speed through those corners. And he's going to be able to fly through there, get that DRS open, and he's going to go, go, go. What a
Sorry to keep doing this, guys, but no one can hear you. Your game sounds are Yeah, your game sounds are way too loud. All right, I'll come back if it's not good. I'll let you know. Well, actually, I'll stay in while you fix it.
I think he did. I think it was on the S-curves. I think he just took too much of that apex. Uh, 100%. And, you know, luckily for these drivers, one of the rules that has changed is that traction control is fully on for assist now for today, well, for the rest of the season. So that definitely will help a lot. But seeing a little bit of a drizzle doesn't surprise me. It's in Australia. and it's dynamic weather on, so it's going to be very interesting to see what the strategy is going to be. If potentially intermediates are going to have to come out with about 12 minutes left in qualifying, but we'll see what happens here. We haven't seen anything about rain.
Bash, are
Looking
you
at-
muted on stream? No one can hear you. I don't know. No, I can only hear Adam. Okay, can you lower the game volume and then maybe crank yourself? I don't know. No one can hear you, man. Okay, can you lower the game volume and then maybe crank yourself? I don't know. No one can. Okay.
Very, very strange. We
Best we get it
apologize.
figured out now. Yeah, technical difficulties here at ARC, but you know, it is the first race of a new season, and we'll get this sorted out quickly.
Okay,
So
mic check, mic check. All right. OBS Studio's picking it up
Yes,
better now.
There you are.
There
Yep.
we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay, guys, sorry for that, and I'm gonna disconnect now, and you guys continue your stream, and good luck.
Yep. Sorry about that once again. Yeah, a lot of drivers are pitting. They might be going for the inters as we're predicting, but we don't know for sure. Gore is still on the top, as I previously predicted. But actually, wait, no, the drizzles ended, so he might.
Ooh, that's
Actually, no, we're still getting pitter patter on the screen. So, yeah, no, the rain situation is a little bit weird at the moment. I'm not
Linus
sure if.
Singapore. I want to take a look at these Red Bull guys because Linus Singapore, he still hasn't put out a valid lap. He's back on the softs. He didn't go for the mediums, which really surprises me with it raining here. Would you say that's the right call right now? Do you think he can get a decent time on these softs with the rain?
I mean, he hasn't made a mistake so far as I can tell. Did he clip the corner too far there? Can't tell.
Well, he's on his out lap right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter then.
So but man, that rain is starting to fall a little bit harder now. So with about 10 minutes left, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to get a lap in here. Rogue hasn't put up a time. Chipsy and Righteous and Ghazi are all still been in the pits. Rogue is on his out lap right now as well.
Yeah.
So
Lion starting his hot lap. So far, so good. Pretty smooth.
Enter sector one just perfect. He's going to get all the way up through that to that 8th gear finally. Perfect corner there, and he's going to exit out of there very nicely. See if he can pick up some speed. You can really take that apex very hard and not get on and not lose any time. Actually, you can get it almost to the point where you really feel the grip of the car. It just feels so nice when you hit that apex just right.
Oh yeah. Car looks like it's sliding a little bit though. That rain might actually turn out to be an issue. We're a little bit too close to the barrier there.
Can he get anywhere close to a 120? Oh.
Ooh!
No, it's not gonna happen.
That's
He
it.
goes
He's
into
out.
the wall,
He's out.
and he has to retire from the session. Not
That is
good.
devastating for Lion of Singapore.
That has to hurt. Gore happily gonna hold on to this provisional pole with a 120.
Still.
Perfect time by him. That is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Jack not even close. He's 2/10 off the pace. Rosefest is 9/10 off. But
Rogue starting his hot lap. This is a driver who is really fast and can do really good when he has that consistency. Unfortunately, we saw him spinning quite a lot in quali and sometimes in the race last season, so hopefully he's taken steps to make sure he drives a lot more carefully. But yeah, Gore has a brilliant time, and if he keeps that pole, that might be the first time I've seen someone take pole at the start and then keep it for the entire session in ARC Tier 1.
Well, Rogue is on the medium tires, which I think might be a little more comfortable, especially with the fact that it's a little slick out there,
Yep.
especially with the softs. So great pick. He's gonna.
He survives the corner.
Yeah, he survived that corner. We saw that. If that was a time lap, that definitely would have not have counted. But and definitely, I think one of the trickiest things about this track is going to be the track limits. I think we're going to see a lot of warnings today, particularly corners 5, 8, 9. Those corners and those straights. You know, you got to be careful when you're going over there. You'll get trapped on those track limits. Roke starting his first time lap. Can he get?
Yeah, he got a 1 minute 22.784 that lap. Which, given that he was on mediums in drizzly weather, not too bad. He'll definitely want to improve on it though. But yeah, as you were saying with the warnings, last time we were in Australia, a lot of penalties were racked up. So we'll see if the same thing happens this time around. I'm kind of expecting it, especially depending on the weather and depending on if there are any first corner incidents. But that's just something we'll have to wait and see about.
Looking at Babushka, now he was a man who tried to qualify on those mediums as well, but he is on the soft tire.
Yeah, he's about to come in. We'll see if he improves on his time. I know he's stepping into the pits now.
Nope, he's saying, I'm out of this. So I think that's going to do it almost with qualifying. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a couple more attempts. Chipsy's out there as well. He is on an out lap on the soft tire.
Driving a little more conservatively, but looks like he's picking up the pace now.
Gypsy had a pretty decent season last Tier 1 season. Even though the driver pool got pretty small after a while. Thankfully, this is another full grid, so it's great to see the top tier of this league just get higher. Jack is going to retire. I think he's put up a pretty decent time to hold on to that D2.
Pack probably thinking that that's as good as it's going to get, and I mean, I don't blame him given the conditions. But we'll see if there are any surprises. We still got just over 5 minutes left in the qualifying session.
All right. And Chipsy, one of the race engineers as well here at Apollo Racing Club. He will be a race engineer this season for Tier 2. And here he goes, starting his time of... No, that was a time lap, wasn't it? No, this is the start of his first time lap.
Chipsy currently in 5th with a 1 minute 21.451.
Can he improve on that? Can he get into the 120s? He has a lot of work to do.
In these conditions, definitely a lot of work. But nothing's impossible. We've seen Chipsy put on some crazy pace.
Chipsy getting a little antsy there at the steering wheel. Almost loses it. Thankfully catches it in time. Van's going to retire from the session. Doesn't surprise me. And that's going to do it for Chipsy as well. He just loses everything in the vehicle.
Yeah.
He just lost it right there. And that's going to end his qualifying. He's going to be P5. I think he'll be very happy with that, though, considering the conditions right now. And if it gets any worse on race, you know, those intermediates, I think it might be better to be kind of towards, you know, you don't want to be out in front, I don't think, on the intermediates, especially here in Australia.
Yeah. Now we're looking at Ruben in the Renault. Maybe he can improve on his time.
He needs to run a 1:21.42 or fast, or 4:9. Excuse me, 4:4 or faster.
Yeah.
That P5, but that's gonna be very hard considering that he's on the softs. Ooh, he lost a little bit of time there, got into the grass, got that front tire in. Gonna come around the penultimate corner. Nope, he's done.
No, he's
for the
pitting.
Day as
He's
well.
pitting. Yeah, he's probably done. And like, yeah, the only people on outlaps right now are Rosefest. Oh no, he's stepping back in the pits. Then we got Righteous Fire, Rogue, and Gauzy Egg. Rogue's going back for another one, as is Righteous. Let's see if Rogue can improve on his time. He's on softs now.
This qualifying turn very interesting as soon as the rain came down, because
Yeah.
a lot of teams look like they got caught out, and the rain is absolutely falling down. That's really gonna. Rogue is really risking it here. Can he do it? He got a little understeer there, and now he's gonna get back on track. Nice exit there, able to keep that. That is one spot there you don't want to go off track there. Nope, he loses it. He went off track. Darn it. The caster, what is that? The caster curse, thinking Rogue that was actually going to be able to do this lap pretty fast and ends up going off track.
Yeah, that's a shame. Commentators curse every time.
Commentators curse every time. It's.
Let's see Gauzy. See if he can do better than a 122.838.
He's went off track as well. I think I saw Stewie. Yeah, he's on an out lap. Stewie 3K. But you can tell it is very slippery out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these softs are going to do him any good. He oof. Got to be very careful through this first sector. It's going to be super slick as well. Well, I'm expecting some rain for this race. I think it's a good call to have. It's Australia. Last year, Australia started in the rain for a lot of people. It was not a good time. I don't know, Bash Dash, if how much you remember last season, but if you had an Australian Grand Prix with rain.
Oh yeah, it did rain, didn't it?
Yeah.
All I knew is that there was a lot of chaos that race. Didn't remember too much about the weather. But yeah, people are retiring. People are realizing, yeah, it's over. Rogue not even going that fast. Probably gonna head back into the pits after this. Chipsy on a hot lap though.
He is really hauling it through here. Can he find the time? Nope, he can't.
I guess that's it. So our front row is going to be Gore in the Ferrari and Tact in the Racing Point, soon to be Aston Martin. Behind them are Rosefest and Mr. Hood. Chipsy settles with 5th. Ruben is beside him. Then it's Babu and Refrax at 7th and 8th. Then the top half is closed by Sin Black Fox and Righteous Fire. Nile in 11th. Stewie 3K in 12th. Madman GTR in 13th. Beside him is Rogue. Behind them are the Action and Gauzy Egg. Then my boy Van, sadly in 17th, followed by the Peach. Then Line of Singapore and Kia, who retired, having not put in any times.
A very interesting grid here. I was expecting Gore to be towards the top of this, and definitely Tack. So that will be the battle to watch. I think for this season is going to be those two. They're going to go at it hard this season. Tack having to move from tier 1 to tier 2 last season, and because he joined so late, he wasn't able to compete for the championship, but he was able to secure a 3rd place very easily in tier 2. So once again, Gore starting on pole in the Ferrari, and his teammate Rogue all the way back in 14th. It's kind of a Charles Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel situation this season, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks very dry here in Australia, so we're going to see soft tires and medium tires come out. So that ruins my prediction of rain. But you never know. It could just be out of nowhere. So if you're in the top 10 here, what do you do? Do you do a two stop race today, or try and make the hard tire work here?
I've seen a lot of guys do good stuff with the hard tires. It really depends on anticipating an incident. With this particular race, I would try doing a 2-stop or potentially a 3-stop. Mostly because there are a lot of guys who are less familiar with the format here, and you never know what might happen in the first few corners. I personally predict we might get a safety car within the first 5 laps. I hope I'm wrong because nobody wants to see that, but yeah.
Well, if you're Gore, you definitely don't want a safety car. You want to try and get yourself a little bit of a gap here. But if you're the midfield here, I would say expect a safety car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Stewie 3K, Rogue, and Line of Singapore are all starting on the mediums, so they might know something that we don't. But we'll see if it is that.
So they're probably going to go a medium hard, medium soft.
Really depends on how the race goes.
Yeah, really depends on how this race can form up to be. Interesting. Rogue, he has a lot of work to do, but he can do it because he is going those medium tires. He'll be able to use those a lot longer than the soft tires will last. The soft tires will just shred like crazy. Wouldn't surprise me by lap 8, 9, 10 to see some of these guys running the soft starting the pit.
Oh yeah, and Rogue has had some brilliant starts, so I wouldn't be surprised if he climbed into the points within the first few laps. Approaching the final area. Tacked way out there. That's pretty funny. Doesn't really feel the need to warm up the tires.
Nope, he's just like, let's get a move on with this race. He is ready to go. He is happy to be back in the top tier.
Oh yeah. Anyone would be.
Man, he just said, wow. I don't think I've ever seen a driver ever just yeet everybody and say no.
No warm-ups required. None. I can go like this.
I wonder how much his tires just got hurt. That'll be very interesting to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah. I mean, Tack's a good driver, but you don't want to be too cocky, of course. Anyways, the drivers are lining up on the grid. Now we just got to wait for the lights and the cars to go off. Let's see if there's another delay like there usually is, or there usually was last season.
The cars come to the grid. 1, 2,
Here we go.
3, 4, 5 lights up in the
yellow
air.
flag.
Lights.
Here we go. And away we go in Albert Park. Ruben just stood still for a while. Not a good start from him. Gore has... Oh, Gore's picking up some distance. Yeah, Tact probably regretting not warming up the top. Actually, no. No, he's keeping in there. And Rogue is already 8th place, as predicted. He's in the points within the first lap, and he's going to overtake Niall. Ooh, oh no, not quite, not quite. There's a little bit of a lap tap. He's got to choose his moment. Yeah, no, but Rogue, with the Fernando Alonso-esque starts, as usual. Of course, going from McLaren to Ferrari. That's another parallel. But yeah, no, tight grid so far. Sin Black Fox holding the line in 10th, getting that 1 point for Alfa Romeo. Going further down. Still pretty tight.
I'm looking at is going to be flying here. He is going to try and be within that second range to hopefully get DRS in lap 3 when it is activated, but he is losing a ton of time. He did pick up a little bit of pace there towards the end, but it might not last for long as Gore is just absolutely flying, using that overtake button, trying to pick up a little more speed, but Tag, he's finding the slipstream. He's going to be able to be super close to him here on lap 1. He is only 4/10 off of Gore, and that's actually, you can keep that pace here for a very long time, but that's going to use those tires very, very hard.
Righteous Fire and Kia pulling into the pits. Did they get some damage? Rosefest picking up a penalty. Yeah, Kia replacing their wing. That must have been what the yellow flag was about. Shame how their race is gone. But yeah, no. Oh, Rosefest picking up a penalty as well. But yeah, Gore's flying ahead, but Tact might be looking to close that gap. And the faster he goes and the more he stays behind, picks up that slipstream, the easier it'll be to overtake once they get that DRS. Babu gets a penalty as well. Yeah, a lot of corner cutting. Oh, and a spin.
And that's going to be Babushka. He went off track, and now he's back in the wall. Can he get out of this safely? He's going to have to wait. But
right after getting a penalty, that's insult to injury right there. Oh, and he spins out a little bit again. Yeah, I don't know if he'll want to pit or not, but that is devastating. Anyways, lap 3. Gore getting the fastest lap, but DRS is enabled now, and Tact might be getting ready to use it. Ooh, and another yellow. No, that's Babu just struggling his way back into the pits. There's a Renault in the pit. That's Ruben. What happened to him? He had to replace his wing. 3 laps, 3 wing replacements. That's a ratio. And Gore getting a purple first sector. Actually losing Tact a little bit. So, even with DRS, Tact is going to need to pick up the pace. What do you think he's going to try?
Tact definitely has to just really just find some time in some of these corners. You know, that's really all you can do. And really cut that corner very hard. Probably got a warning for that, but that DRS is open, so he gets a little bit of gap a little bit smaller now. But he's really just working these tires, and that's got to be frightful, especially if you're Gore, because you're going to have to push as hard as he has to, and these tires are just going to shred like crazy. So probably by lap 9, these 2 front runners are going to just have to pit, but they are just pulling a massive gap over the rest of the pack here.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This will just be a battle for these two
for the win.
For the win here.
Different class. But yeah, Gore picking up another fastest lap. Tact is definitely not out of it, but the impression that I'm getting is that Rogue is doing a little bit of Gore is doing a little bit of a better job negotiating the corners. Rogue, on the other hand, trying to battle Nile for 6th, but not quite getting there. The other Ferrari trying to increase points for the Scuderia against the sister team of Alfa Romeo.
It's going to be a proper Constructors' Championship this year with the amount of drivers and teams we have. And Rogue, yeah, he is really just trying to keep up with this Alfa Romeo. Can he find that DRS? He's going to use that overtake button, get around these all the way through to the end of sector 2, and now going through these S curves. Can he find more time and more speed? He does. What a great exit there. He gained just about a 1/10 of a second there, and gets the DRS as well, and just makes that so much quicker. That gap got very small very quickly, and if you're Nile right now, you're kind of worried that Rogue is gonna make some massive moves here.
Definitely. Yeah, just saving up that overtake for the right moment, using it in conjunction with the DRS, just creeping up further. And it's a bigger battle to get between top 5, but I'm guessing that's what the different tire strategy's for. It's lap 5, and we still haven't seen a safety car, so maybe using mediums was the play after all. And there's the overtake. There's a yellow flag on sectors 1 and 2.
That was
Was that caused by Babu? Yeah, it looks like. Babu's just been struggling this entire race. You hate to see it.
You do hate to see it. And there is Lion of Singapore, who is in the pits. He's going to lose a couple more positions. I don't know why he would go into pits this early, but Rogue, he is trying to pull a gap here. He is trying to catch up to Mr. Hood in that Mercedes, but there is a nice little line of cars here behind him that would love to get a little bit of a slipstream, a DRS train going on here. But looking back at our leaders now, Tech really just staying close to Gore. He's only a half second behind. Oh, and he's going to get a flat spot there. Hits the brakes a little bit too hard, but
Yep.
he's going to just keep on up, but gets the DRS still. He's still within that almost a half a second behind Gore here.
Babu's causing a lot of yellow flags. I'll be surprised if no one tries to hit up the FIA regarding obstructing the race or blocking. He has to head into the pits as soon as possible, I think. Anyways, yeah, Gore and Tact are still incredibly close. Tact not quite able to get past Gore yet, but he isn't giving up. He isn't giving up, and that's what we like to see. Tact getting a penalty, so that's probably going to hurt his case, because now he has to not only overtake, but yeah, no, Babushka just decides to retire. You hate to see it, but yeah, no.
You hate to see that, and he's a tough competitor, but obviously just today it's just not his day today.
Certainly. But yeah, Tact will not only want to overtake Gore, but unless Gore doesn't run a completely clean race, Tact is gonna have to get 3 seconds ahead of him. So it's just gonna have to be circumstance for him, that or just incredibly resourceful driving or a better pit strategy. Yeah, we'll have to see how he gets on, because Gore is just looking about unstoppable right now. And Rogue heads into 4th after Chipsy heads into the pits.
So lap 7, we are seeing those pit stops come on through. So a little bit earlier than I was thinking. So it wouldn't surprise me, though, if we see Tact try and extend the life of these stops as much as he can, because he knows he has that penalty. He maybe wants to conserve a little bit of time. That way he can maybe get a pass while Gore goes to the pit lane, kind of push it on the in lap, and then potentially be ahead of him.
Seems about right. But yeah, Ferrari is just doing great this race. This is probably the exact opposite of how everyone's seeing the actual 2020 F1 season with regards to that team. Lion of Singapore picking up a fastest lap with a 1:23.559, so well done to him. Even though he's 18th place, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to work his way back up. But yeah, 1st and 4th. And depending on if Rosefest picks up any more penalties, Rogue might be able to get something going here.
Rosefest coming through the final turn there and gets through another lap, and he is 7 seconds behind. Gore pits now, and so let's see what happens here. So Tact is going to use that DRS that he was able to keep from Rogue. So, wow, this is not good. Gore all the way back down to 8th off of the pit stop, and let's see what Tact does here. Will he go 1 or 2 laps longer?
But yeah, not sure why Rogue pitted that early. Even if he was going on the hards, why switch? Why not ride out the mediums for longer? Who knows? Maybe he knows something I don't. Again, anyways, there's a 3-way battle for 4th between Madman GTR, The Action, and Sin Black Fox. It's incredibly tight. Let's see what the Alfa Romeo can do.
It is a 3-way battle here for 4th place, but it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see some of these guys starting to pit because they still are on softs. Those guys are on 7th-day soft, and Alfa Romeo is off the track. Who
That's
was
Niall.
that? That's Niall.
Sin Black Fox almost lost it too.
Poor Niall.
He isn't out of the race yet, thankfully, but yeah, that's going to be devastating to his race. And that's a safety car.
Yep, that is going to be a safety car. And Madman is going to get a drive-through penalty for speeding under a safety car as well. So, not good. Tack, he gets a free pit stop too, and he can keep the lead. That safety car couldn't have come at a better point in time.
And now that the cars are going to bunch up, maybe the Ferraris will get a closer chance than before to work their way back up. I know Gore is already back in 2nd. Rogue is in 15th right now, but you never know if we see any crazy overtakes from him. But yeah, everyone's pitting. Most of the drivers are switching the hards, so hards might have been the play after all.
I think a lot of these guys, especially towards the front, they want. This is going to be a race of attrition up in the front. Now, I take back what I said, Tack being thankful about the safety car. He's not thankful now because Gore is right behind him now.
And they still have that. He still has that penalty.
Yeah, and he still has that penalty. So a miracle has. It wouldn't surprise me if Gore just goes right for the lead and just keeps the lead. But we also have to remember Rosebest is up with them. If there's a nice, because these guys are going to get bunched back up again, it wouldn't surprise me if we see a nice little slipstream train for the very first 2 sectors here. And what do you think about this, Bash? I'm seeing Chipsy. He's on 2-lap-old mediums.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to watch.
So,
I mean, maybe he's predicting that there's gonna be another safety car. I mean, that wouldn't be unforeseeable. But
Chipsy, I was in a lobby with him the other night, and his goal is to never go in the hards, which I totally understand. The hard tire sometimes is just really, particularly when I was on this track, just didn't feel the greatest. The medium tire felt better. The soft tire felt really good, but the hard tire just seemed like it just took a long time to get warmed up. But because of the safety car, they're able to get those tires worked in. It's going to be another lap on the safety car. So does this safety car going to help these hard tires just get into the groove of things, and maybe we're going to just see these guys on hards just absolutely fly now?
maybe. It all comes down to driver's skill. I mean, the medium tires aren't really that old, so they could definitely make use of the added traction, but it all comes down to finding those opportunities to take advantage of them and just overtake. So we'll just have to see.
You gotta wonder, Chipsy. Now he's on 3-lap-old tires because under the safety car, he's done 2 under the safety car. So he's got Madman right behind him, who put on fresh hards, and Mr. Hood, who has 4-lap-old hard tires. You gotta wonder the tire state, especially under a safety car.
Yeah. Well, the safety car is going to come in this lap, so first thing we'll have to see is how Gore handles that battle with tact. Can't overtake him just yet, but
They haven't gone fully green yet. They're waiting. Tack trying to get the field bunched up again. He's going to be looking for a very quick restart here over Gore, just to try and maybe get a gap, get out of the DRS range, and He's pulling the Lewis Hamilton, just holding everybody back, waiting for that safety car to get as far as it can go. And now they're off to the races again. And what a great restart by both Tack and Gore. But Tack really, really quick here, but a very quick battle into turn one. And Bash, it's going to be pandemonium here for the next couple of laps.
Oh, yeah. Immediately we see Rogue overtake Gauzy Egg. He gets a point. And that's Gore almost overtaking Tact. He might be able to finish it, but he doesn't decide to go through with it. That's the safe move, especially since Tact has a penalty. And Righteous Fire is just stopped in the middle of the road. So that's not a good restart for him.
It's not a good restart. He is back on the track, though. He is on his way. Thankfully, not another safety car. I was very worried there for a minute that we were going to just have a Mugello kind of situation here.
Oh, yeah.
But a great situation here towards the front of the pack again. I think
now Gore has a penalty, so that evens things up with Tact. Now Gore has to overtake in order to secure first.
Yes, he does, and he's only 2/10 off of him, but Gore, Tack is able to find a little more space in sectors 1 and 2, it seemed like, especially off of the restart. But will that be a different story here as they come through the final corner down to the black and white stripe? And Tack, he's going to get a little bit more space, a little bit more of a gap here as they head into turn 1 again. And definitely a great race here because Rosefest is still there. Rosefest is still with these guys a little bit, but I don't think, hopefully he can continue to be up there. We're seeing the McLaren up there with Chipsy and Rosefest there, and another yellow flag coming out in turn 2, it looks like, in sector 1.
Yeah, the AlphaTauri has had an incident. AlphaTauri is having a pretty tragic race themselves, it looks like.
Peach is back out on the track, but he must have some damage because he is not able to control his car, and he gets a penalty on top of everything.
Now Rogue is up to 7th. Gonna have to take another Alfa Romeo to get into 6th.
He's able to find a slipstream there, and wow, he's just sticking right on the bumper of him, right on the rear wing. And he's going to be able to hold this for a while, and we're going to see DRS here activated on this next lap, which is going to be very exciting for these drivers, especially those ones who are within that 1 second range. That's going to help them out there, especially Rogue here. He really wants this DRS to happen very soon. He wants to buy this Alfa Romeo with no problems.
DRS is enabled. That might help Gore as well. As long as he doesn't lose the distance on Tact, of course.
Tact is really pushing hard. He gets a little loose there towards turn 4. But he's going to just try and find some space here as they're not even through a detection zone yet. So it's going to be a little bit, but I want to keep an eye on this battle here. 4-6. It's becoming almost a 3-way battle as Refrax is going to join the fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it really depends on how well these drivers can use the DRS.
This is going to be very interesting because this is going to be the middle of the pack I think we're going to see all season. Refrax, a very good driver. Awesome. He was fun to watch and fun to compete against last season. So it's great to see him at the top level this particular season. But he is falling a little bit behind this Ferrari now. And looking back up at the leaders, we're seeing Gore. He picked up a little bit of time. He was in the 0.9 off of Tack area. Now he's gained 2/10 in the final sector here. So
he's starting to close the distance.
Starting to, and he does get that DRS, but can it be enough? I think it's just going to get him a little bit closer, but man, these hard tires with DRS, it makes somewhat of a difference, but he's not able to close that gap very quickly. He gained maybe 2/10 coming into turn 2 there on the Tack. Well, we're going to see a battle here. Ooh, Tack getting into the grass.
Rogue.
Gotta be very careful. That grass can just swallow you up, but he's just saying goodbye, Gord.
Rogue finally overtakes Sin Black Fox. But yeah, Gore's starting to fall behind a little bit, but we'll have to see how this develops further. There's a pretty big battle in the middle of the pack. Line of Singapore and Kia are swapping positions, but Line of Singapore has a penalty now. A little bit more misfortune for the Toro Rossos as well, as there are yellow flags everywhere.
Where's this yellow flag? Yep, there.
And there's a virtual safety car.
And that's Mr. Hood. Mr. Hood has retired. This is not good.
Yeah, went to the wall.
Oh no, his entire front wing is missing on the end plate is missing. Poor guy. Well, he is out of this race, and we have another, a virtual safety car. Attack. Oh, bad timing on that. Very poor timing on this virtual safety car.
Yeah.
But now we are back to racing here. DRS is back enabled, so it's right back into the action here in Season 1, Tier 1 of the Apollo Racing Club 6th season. And we're live here on Twitch. We're here at lap 15 out of 29, and I'm looking at Rosefest, who is having the battle here against Chipsy.
Yeah, Chipsy's starting to gain on him. He wants that podium for McLaren. Only 0.3 seconds separate them, so an overtake is entirely possible. It really depends on who can go faster and cleaner into the corners.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Chipsy is going to do a two-stopper. That's all we can tell you, which means he's going to lose a bit of positions here to the guys behind him. He'll potentially be losing 2 positions, and he's going to be with Refrax here, fighting for 7th place. 7th place.
Yeah, going on just straight mediums is definitely a gamble, but you never know. The circumstances might go in their favor. Rosefest losing a little bit of time, and now Chipsy is in position to swallow him whole. Does he do it? Looks like he does. He just has to finish in the corner, pushes him back, and Rosefest concedes a position. Oh, but they trade.
And they're trading positions, and there was an ongoing battle towards the front. We were seeing wheel-to-wheel action between Tak and Gore there. They bumped.
Oh yeah.
For a minute. So the top 4 here aggressively pushing here. They definitely want to get something. Tak went off the track there for a minute there, got into the grass, but he's going to finish out. And
safety car.
Fire retires as well now, and that's the second safety car.
Poor Williams.
Oh boy.
But yeah, earlier that lap, Chipsy and Rosefest were just trading like stocks right there. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Chipsy came out of that on top, and now he can safely hold on to 3rd place for a little while as the safety car comes on. Is there going to be any pit stops this lap? Stewie 3K of the Haas is in right now, but not necessarily in a position to fight. So
Chipsy, I think, went in. Yep, Chipsy went in. Rosefest went in. Rogue went in. Fox went in. Refrax is in. So we're gonna see medium tires come on out. Maybe some. I don't think we're gonna see soft tires. I don't think they can make the softs. We are gonna see Rogue on soft.
Rogue is on softs. So he's gonna really push these last few laps.
Are we gonna see the leaders go in? Are we gonna see Tak and Gore go in? Maybe go on to the mediums.
I mean, when they're running hards, I'm not sure. They could definitely keep these tires alive. I think if they pit at this stage late in the race, it's going to really hurt their ability to maintain the lead. Especially with Kia, Chipsy, Rosefest, and Rogue just fighting like crazy for that top position.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Kia is going to potentially have to pit because he is on 8-lap old mediums, and the mediums I don't think are going to last until the end here. I think those are a lap or two short of making it to the end here, especially with the safety car. And Stewie 3K picking up a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Lots of penalties. Ooh, the boys must be rusty this week.
Seems like it. But Australia is always an interesting race. Always a good opportunity to shake off some rust. Kia has no penalties, though. At least no penalties that would like affect his standing.
Ugh. See, Kia should have pitted that lap, but then I don't think Kia would have had a chance at third. That's a tough call. I don't think these mediums last the entirety of these next few laps.
Yeah, it's up to Kia. I mean, he
Really
could
up to
always try
him.
something crazy, but if he decides to stay on the mediums, he's gonna have to drive conservatively at the end of the race. And what's happened
Yeah.
to Madman GT? Oh no, he's just pitting. He's just pitting.
Looking at chat, what do you think is going through Kia's head right now? Is he really gonna try and run this? I mean, those are gonna get 10 laps old, and you can run them for what, almost 15 laps, right? Before they start losing a little bit of time.
Something around there.
15, 16 laps. And he has 9 on. Oh, that is gonna that's so tight.
Then
He's gonna have
again,
to just
we've seen drivers just ride medium tires out for like so many laps. Chen Jie last season was really good at tire management, so we'll see if Kia's decided to learn something from him.
looking at Chipsy, he put on fresh mediums. Rose has fresh mediums. Rogue is on the softs. Lion of Singapore on the softs. So we're gonna see a lot of these guys. Rogue, I think, is not only getting the softs because he's gonna just really push super hard here. Wants to have just the speed with the softs, but also fastest lap. Might as well get the bonus point, especially when Gore is potentially could win this race.
Seems about right. But can he make those softs last for potentially 11 laps?
It's gonna be tight. I mean, luckily he's not having to push them right now, so I guess that kind of just saves some wear and tear on the tire because he just pitted for fresh ones. So I bet he could, because the safety car is going to go around one more time. So can he make those softs last 10 laps? I think you can. And I know Rogue, he's really good about tire management. I mean, the guy is up in P6 and he started from P14. But 3 DNFs today. Sad day for Righteous, Mr. Hood, and Babushka. And you got to wonder what kind of happened if it was just car setup, if it was the tire choice, maybe the strategy, what really led to the end of their race. But, you know, hopefully next week in Bahrain, we're going to Bahrain next week, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Could have been
So
shaking off rust
Bahrain-
as well.
Yeah, probably a lot of rush shaking off. A lot of these guys had a month. We've had about a month, over a month off. Some of these guys went over to ACC for a while. So which just started here. So trying to just shake off the cobwebs and get their muscles back into it. And it's, you know, going from GT racing to an F1 car, definitely very different. Very, very different. indeed.
Definitely.
And some of these guys also do the Formula E on Assetto Corsa. And safety car is going to be in this lap. So 10 laps to go. at the green flag. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, 10 laps to go.
Yeah, all eyes are going to be on Kia, the soft users, and of course the front runners to see how they come on and how long they can make their tires last. I know Gore is ready for a scrap with tact.
He is, and he sees his teammate back there as well. Can his teammate affect Gore's race here?
Maybe.
I mean, they're in the same voice chat together, the same team chat. They're probably communicating right now, being like, "Hey, let's work together here. Let's get a 1-2. Let's make sure Ferrari gets the least amount of points they possibly can get today." But the green flag is out. And
Ooh, but
right
Kia
away,
gives Chipsy a little love tap. Has that gotten any wing damage?
I can't tell. Yes, he does. He ends up losing a little bit of his front wing. That is not good.
But now Rogue going for the triple overtake right now. Already gotten Chipsy. Going for Rose Fest. Oh, but Kia blocks him. Ooh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Oh, no, I couldn't get it there.
This is going to be a race to the finish, ladies and gentlemen, watching on twitch.tv here at Apollo Racing Club. Rogue pulling off some great moves on the tack, and he's going to get a nice overtake there as well. And now his next target is Rosefest.
It's a 4-way, potentially 5-way battle for third. Yeah, Rogue is coming up to Rosefest. Gonna want to try to make those soft tires work for him. And yeah, Kia probably regretting staying on those mediums now because he's missed out on the podium and he's gonna have to make sure that his tires don't wear out. Rogue was being pretty conservative during the safety car. Madman GTR picks up a penalty.
Well, Rogue, I don't know what happened to Rogue there. What happened to Kia there? He just kind of didn't go. He didn't speed up at all because before you knew it, Gore and Tack were off to the races. And looking at the front leaders now, Tack has taken a second lead here. And Rogue and Gore right now losing a lot of time. He might not be able to win this race with only 8 laps remaining. And Rosefest, he's out here as well with, oh, never mind. He's going to get overtook.
Ooh, that was close. Rogue now 2 Ferraris are in the podium. But yeah, it's really dependent on Gore to basically put pressure on Tact right now, see if he can slip up, see if Tact picks up another penalty, or if there's an opening that allows him to take that first position. Although with their tires as old as they are hards, but eventually they'll have to start driving more conservatively.
Well, Gore has a lap older tires than Tack does. He has 13 lap old hard tires, and Tack has 12 laps. I know you can make the hards maybe last this long to the end if you have 12 laps on them. 13 though, that's pushing it. I mean, you're already, look at these guys. They're already struggling a little bit with the tires. They're having to just really drag the car through the corners, especially that final corner. That is a very tough corner to really keep on the track.
Rogue gets the fastest lap, 1 minute 23, 3:22. So there's that bonus point. Not sure if he's going to go for the win, but you can see he has Gore and Tact in his view.
This has been the most exciting F1 race besides that Grand Prix last weekend in Turkey. But this is going to be a very exciting end, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that browser. It's going to be an absolute banger of a race towards the end here. Rogue with 5-lap old softs, but he is really pushing hard. He does have a lot more battery life.
He has decided to retire, but yeah. So now it's Tact picking up all of Racing Points, points. And Gore using that DRS. Rogue not too far behind, but still pretty far behind. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Seb and Charles type battle before the race is over, but I mean, we can't count it out yet. Rogue has been really fast, and those soft tires have been helping him a lot. Hopefully he just doesn't cause an incident or spin or anything like that, because that would just be tragic. Anyways, Gore about to go for the overtake, and he takes first position. Actually, wait.
Wow.
The penalties, if Rogue can stay within 3 seconds... Oh, and Tact just slows down. I don't know what happened there. But now it's a 1-2. And if Rogue just stays where he is and he doesn't pick up a penalty, he could actually win the race. But Tact is not giving up yet.
He is not. He is going to have to push very hard. But we saw how hard, like looking at the tire state on those hard tires, he was struggling. Particularly through Sector 3 when you really have to have the speed through there. But Rogue's going to go cut through the grass there.
Yeah, those hard tires leaving them out all the way. But for now, I'm just looking at a battle for 4th. Line of Singapore takes his teammate, Rosefest, and now he's going to approach Chipsy, trying to add some extra points for Red Bull. Activates the DRS, activates the overtake, but he doesn't have too much in his ERS battery. Yeah, he's going to want to save up overtake for the later laps. Chipsy doesn't have too much, but he still has a lot more, so he can use overtake if he needs to. But Line of Singapore inching ever closer, stalking his prey like an actual lion, activating the DRS yet again, using what little ERS he has. Is he going to go for the overtake? I wouldn't expect it.
No, and Chipsy has a very low battery as well for his ERS. So these two are just going to have to fight with whatever they have left in their ERS. And Tact has fallen very far behind, but Tact can get a P2.
The Ferraris are coming very close. The Ferraris are coming very close. Honestly, if I'm Gore, I'm not sure if I'd let Rogue pass, but like it would be something to consider because Rogue is not gonna like get further away unless something catastrophic happens, and if that happens, you could just avoid it. But with the penalty, Rogue would probably get P1 anyways, and that would just be the safer way to go about it. Or is Rogue just hanging back and making sure that he doesn't cause a collision himself with Gore?
I think he's going with the latter there. He's going to just play it safe. He's not pushing nearly as hard. He still has a lot of his ERS.
Yeah.
And he's not even using it, so he's just going to use the DRS. That's it. So.
And I think he's going into this with the expectation that Tact is no longer an issue.
Yes. But the question is he an issue?
I mean, there's still 5 laps to go. Tact could pull out something. And even if he did, the penalty would mean that he'd have to pull out something crazy if he wanted to get the position ahead of Rogue. So maybe he's playing it safe as well. But
Tact is only 2.4 seconds away from Rogue, and Rogue is only 0.3 seconds away from Gore. That only puts him at 2.6 seconds.
But Rogue doesn't have a penalty.
Rogue doesn't have a penalty, but Gore does. If Gore has a 3-second penalty, Tact could get P2.
Maybe. Tact does have a penalty himself, but I'm not sure who has more seconds or if they're equal.
They're both equal, I think. I don't think Tact,
Yeah.
Tact only has a 3-second penalty.
So if it stays as it is, it'd still be a Ferrari 1-2. It'd just be Rogue on top. But anyways, Lion of Singapore still staying on Chipsy, and Rosefest still staying on Line of Singapore.
And we're coming down to the final 3 laps here. What a great race. 2 safety cars in the very first running here this season.
Van might be trying to overtake the action to get 12th. Ooh, oh, there's some bumping. Van takes it. I don't know who was at fault there, but yeah, there was a bit of some tapping there, so we'd have to see. But anyways, Yeah, still pretty tight in the top. Line of Singapore really wants 4th position, but he needs to save up his overtake.
He does. He only has 10% in there. Chipsy has. He's actually using his overtake right now. He's going to go below 10% ERS. And he pulls a little bit of a gap here in Rosefest, actually sticking with his teammate Lion of Singapore. Those soft tires, they're going to start losing grip here. We're getting 9 laps in.
Yeah, Line of Singapore just slipping up a little bit. So that's probably what caused it. Rosefest might be trying to overtake. The action takes another penalty.
Not good there. Again, multiple warnings about track limits. So Rogue, he is sticking with his teammate as well, Gore. But it's going to be so close up there.
Yeah,
Very
with these
close.
penalties, it's going to be interesting seeing how the grid changes.
Line of Singapore, he's trying to make a little bit of a gap towards Rosefest and really get up towards Chipsy. But Chipsy has 10 lap old mediums, and Lion of Singapore has 10 lap old softs. And I really don't think Lion of Singapore is going to make this much of anything, because he is going to lose a lot of grip compared to the medium tires about this time, really depending on how hard Chipsy has been pushing. And ooh, you gotta wonder, what can this race shape up to be here, Bash, and looking. Oh, Lion Singapore, he's really gaining some time here now. He was able to find a little bit of a slipstream.
Yeah, it's good seeing Line of Singapore and Rogue just hold on to the grip in those tires. Oh, something's wrong with one of the McLarens, though. Refrax is retired, it looks like. Look, he might have just hit the wall. Doesn't look like it's a safety car situation, but yeah, no, it doesn't look like.
No, doesn't look like it yet. No, we're still good. Okay, I was like,
it's too late in the race for that anyways. Imagine if the race just ended under safety car. That'd be funny.
I would been so mad, because I do not ever think that a race should ever end under caution. Ever.
Yeah, this year's Indy 500 must have made you mad then.
Dude, that made me so upset. But we're not talking about the Indy 500. I could talk about my opinions about that all day. Rogue is up doors behind here.
But he's still saying safe. He's still saying safe.
I think it was just like, hey, I'm back here too. Just so you know, you mess up, I'm taking the lead. But Rogue is going to use that overtake a little bit more now compared to what we've seen before. Now we're seeing a yellow flag in Sector 2. Rosefest gets past Lion of Singapore, it looks like.
Yeah, Lion slowed down a little bit. But yeah, all Rogue has to do, is drive safe and not get a penalty, and he wins this race. That's literally all he has to do.
He has drove this race so well. He was from P14 on the grid, and he ends up just driving like an animal. He was an absolute alien today.
With one lap left to go, the Ferraris are shaping up to get a 1-2. With such old tires as well. Gore's tires are 21 years old, 21 lap old hards. Imagine 21-year-old tires. Excuse me. And then Rogue on the 12 lap old softs. That tire management has just been pristine. Tacked reasonably far behind, but he can still get third.
Yep, I think he'll still be good, except Chipsy. Yeah, Chipsy has a 3-second penalty. Ruben now has another penalty. A lot of penalties. Over half the grid now at this point have had penalties.
Yeah, only Rogue, Gauzy Egg, and Van have no penalties.
Very surprising.
But yeah, it looks like the Ferraris are cruising their way down to the final parts of the track with no one to oppose them. A brilliant 1-2 finish from two drivers who have put on a lot of promise last season, had a lot of exciting moments. It's a Ferrari 1-2. Gore is going to cross the line first, but our winner, the fan favorite, is Rogue. and he's gonna get driver of the day most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Yeah, okay, yeah, it switched.
Yep.
Okay, I was confused for a second there. Tact getting third place, followed by Chipsy in the McLaren. There was a little bit of a switcheroo. Rosefest is fifth, but Sin Black Fox is taking sixth from Line of Singapore.
And
Then
what
Gauzy Egg in eighth, Nile, and then my boy Van getting 1 point for Renault in 10th, keeping that race clean in order to claim that 1 point for the French team. Who does the AI think is driver of the day? Yep.
Rogue.
Yep.
Rogue.
Yep. No doubt about it.
And-
It's Rogue.
No doubt. And I can't argue that. I totally 100% agree with that decision because he was P14. He could not get a decent time in qualifying as it was raining, and ends up just out driving the grid today. And I'm very, very happy for him.
Very
what
happy
an
for him.
absolute drive.
He's been working for that win for so long. He's gotten several podiums. He could have won a few times had it not been for spins last season, but now he's finally gotten one. All of his hard work has finally paid off. And yeah, it was funny. Gore got pole position before it started raining in quali. Rogue was kind of lower mid-pack, but he kept his head down and his spirits up. He had that great start as he usually gets, and he just rode all the way to the end. And now he's gotten a win, and Ferrari racks up a lot of Constructors' Championship points as well. Line of Singapore gets fastest lap, though, so he's going to get an extra point for that. And, yeah, crazy race. Lots of penalties.
Lots of penalties. Now, and our boy Rogue doing a great job today. Driver of the day. Gore coming in second place. If he didn't get that penalty, he would have been the winner today. But Tag not able to bring it home either. He led for most of this race as well. So, but do we do interviews or no?
Yeah, let's do interviews. Do you want to get both? Do you want to get both the Ferrari drivers in here at once, or should we just do one at a time?
I just want to get Rogue. I want to get his thoughts
Rogue?
because he is our winner and our driver of the day. Might as well get the 2-in-1.
All right, let's interview Rogue then. Hey there.
Hello, hello.
You did it.
Rogue.
You did it.
Long time no see. Yeah, no.
And no surprise, you're our driver of the day as well.
Oh yeah. Got it in game and everything. Just like I planned it. No, not really. But that quali was pretty brutal. Jeff lied to me like usual, so
Tell us what. So you didn't get out right away for quali, and when you got out, obviously conditions were not the best. What was going through your head while were you just thinking about just sitting in pits, or was there a reason why you didn't get out so early?
well, Jeff originally said that there wouldn't be any rain like at all, and even on the forecaster thing, it said there wouldn't be any for 20 minutes. So I thought I was safe. I went and put some laundry in the dryer, came back, and it was raining because I was planning on doing the mediums to soft for the race, and that's why I originally still tried to go out when I came back just to see what I could get. I mean, it was all right. Couldn't really. Tires a second slower than the soft, and with the rain, it just didn't work out. But start was great, and after that, just tried to keep it alive. I got wing damage lap before safety car, so that kind of messed up my roll there. But a good pit strategy compared to everyone else on that second one, and I was flying. And then, just keep it on the track.
Oh yeah.
How were the softs?
Hmm?
How were the softs towards the end of that race?
They're in the 60s, so they were pretty much dead. So I knew everyone around me had time penalties. I only had one warning, so I was literally just cruising to the end, just keep it on the track, do not spin. So I knew I was golden at that point, so I was just waiting. So once I got in DRS zone of Gore there, and I got past Tact and all those on the restart, just well executed at the end there. So it's great stuff.
Yeah. On the subject of Gore, he had pole position. He was running in the front for most of the race. You were able to get the win because he had a penalty. I'm assuming you hung back in second just to be safe. Are you anticipating a lot of battles between you and your teammate ahead this season?
Oh yeah, I mean, I told him before the race that, I mean, I knew I wouldn't be fighting for pole just because I was on mediums and they're a second slower, like I said earlier. But yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be, there's a good amount of us on in the front that could probably fight week in and week out depending on the track. So just depends. Me and Gore are pretty good at Bahrain. Last season we had a little, we were fighting a lot that race, and he came out on top. So give it a whirl next week. So
Oh yeah. Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing it. Enjoy your win, man. Talk to you later.
appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.
Well, the man, the myth, the legend, Rogue coming away with today's Grand Prix victory for the Australian Grand Prix in season 6 here, and Bash, that was a heck of a race.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to see something crazy next week in Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Of course, I won't be casting because that race because I cast every other week, but I'll definitely be watching it if I can.
Yeah, for sure. You're not going to want to miss it. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the follow button so you can keep up to date with all Apollo Racing Club action. We'll have Tier 2 tomorrow night starting at 9 Eastern. And then we'll also have our Acita Corsa, our ACC races as well, streamed live right here on Apollo Racing Club on Saturdays at 9 Eastern. So make sure to hit that follow button. And to everybody who has subscribed, thank you for your subscriptions. We really appreciate that. So thank you so much and have a great night.
Peace.